What were the biggest middle fingers from companies to customers? Giving discounted rates to new customers only and none to long-term subscribers/members. For example, cable companies. They often don't care about their loyal customers as much as new customers. Cell phone companies are like that too. Switch. You're considered new. If you return to, check the best deal out. Once you find a better one, change. Yep, been bouncing between two cell phone companies for over a decade. The Walt Disney Company got huge by making films out of public domain fairy tales and then saw to it that copyright was extended indefinitely. Has even tried to copyright some public domain stories. I worked in the intellectual property field for years, protecting people's rights to their inventions and creations. I remember my stomach sinking when I read that decision. I love books and what Disney and the courts did is reprehensible. Wouldn't that mean that they copyright their expression of the fairy tale and not the story itself? That is their animation and all the songs they added and stuff. When Xfinity took the Cartoon Network off basic cable and moved it to premium, I'm paying 20 extra bucks a month for Nick Jr. because of this. Not even HD Nick Jr. Pluto TV has a free legal version of Nick Jr., Nickelodeon and many other great channels. In 1994, Intel's Pentium chip had a flaw that led to some math errors. They first denied it outright, even though it was super easy to demonstrate. They then agreed to replace chips for customers who could demonstrate that it affected them. They finally relented after a media storm and government threats of investigation caused their stock to plummet. Also Intel, hey, have this 7700K, it's great, and we aren't going to make it completely obsolete in 6 months. AMD in 2017, I'm about to end this man's whole career. A 24-hour supermarket I used to service would do all their stocking between 1 to 4 AM every day. During that time, this group of old bidders would do their shopping and constantly complain about the employees being in the way, doing their jobs. Well, the old women started actively complaining about the employees stocking and began calling management every day. After a week or so, the store's solution was to tell the old women, well, I guess you're gonna stop coming in that early, and now they shut their doors from midnight to 5 to allow the workers to stock in peace. But that's awesome of the store. It would have been cool if they just told these people to duck off. Brazilian company bought Tim Hortons coffee shop in Canada and immediately changed all the products to ones they use for other businesses they own / their food distributors and throw out Tim's coffee supplier. McDonald's smartly picked up the coffee supplier and is having success with their coffee now. Food at Tim Hortons is garbage now. Just complete middle finger to the customers and history of the brand in my opinion. My ICE charges an extra fee to enable the Wi-Fi on the router I had to pay for. Edit, I got my own router on day 1 because duck that. I've already saved back over twice the cost of it. Unfortunately, if you don't own your modem and router, you're doing it wrong. You'll save money in the long run buying your own versus renting or buying from the ICE. Then every time something goes wrong with the service, it's your router's fault and they refuse to do anything about it. Subscription-based software, like, I need Adobe Photoshop to edit photos every so often. I don't use it so much that I feel the need to pay every month. I don't need the newest features now. I just need some features that have been there for a while, and I'm perfectly content with that feature set for a long while. Why should I pay a recurring fee when I could just pay $200? I should use it whenever I want in my life. Duck you, Adobe. Everything which is a subscription that should be a product which is purchased one time. Same with the new Office. It seems like everyone's moving to subscription services now. Shareholders love that predictable, recurring income. Your internet bill. The price increases randomly for the exact same service, and you have no other options. Not even the same service. A few years back my ICE decided to meter the connections and raise prices. Thanks Mediacom. Data caps are major bullpoop. It doesn't cost the ICE anything. They pay for bandwidth and most fiber optic cables are nowhere near their capacity. In fact, most, in my city, are less than 1% of their maximum. Extra data doesn't cost them anything, but they will charge you an arm and a leg for it. Service fees when buying concert tickets. Service fees for anything that offers digital tickets. One of the local festivals charges me $6 a ticket. to send me a quarter code in a text message. Ticketmaster is horrible. They charge convenience fees when you buy tickets yourself. Input your own information. Print tickets out with your own printer with your own ink. Oh, we gotta charge you for that convenience. Back when I actually bought tickets through Ticketmaster, I was like that and went to a music store when those existed and there was another fee. Next time I pick them up, it will call up the stadium. Another fee. Pharma companies exponentially increasing the price of everything from insulin to EpiPens. This happened while I was volunteering at a hospital. A nurse was about to give a patient his medication and he wanted to know how much it would cost. This guy was so ill and used all the energy he had to ask this. I hated healthcare so much at that point. It shouldn't have to be like that. I'm just happy I'm so lucky that I live in a first world country where this isn't an issue. You truly are lucky. I'm in the US. Please hold for the next 27 minutes, but remember, your call is important to us. We are currently experiencing heavier than normal call volume. No, you aren't. That's your normal call volume. You're just too goddamn cheap to hire enough people. T some point, you have to admit that heavier than normal is the new normal and hire some ducking people. They don't even have to do that. My local ISP, not one of the big ones, has a feature where you call, get queued up, and then you can hang up. When your turn comes, it calls you back. I don't have to sit for however long listening to music. I can go do something else, or even just watch some TV, or f**k around on my phone. A small, simple change that requires no additional employees, doesn't even shrink the wait time, but still improves the experience massively. About 10 years ago, while I was working for a behemoth in the telecom industry, they decided to change their policy on business discounts being extended to employees by adding an activation fee. This fee of $36 was added to the next bill. This was really a slap in the face for small business employees who wouldn't see a return on this initial investment for over a year. The campaign lasted all of 3 months before a board member was presumably bombarded with hate mail and death threats, and the greedy activation fee was dropped. More likely he pissed off a customer who actually had some legitimate clout. Planned obsolescence. I absolutely hate this concept. It should be criminal. Especially with the environment being at a critical point now. I agree. My parents had washers and dryers that lasted for decades and you could buy replacement parts when needed. Same with toasters and vacuum cleaners and whatever. I have my mother's sewing machine from the 70s and the casing is all strong steel. I took it apart, cleaned and oiled it, and it works like a dream. I wish I could do that with all my appliances. And I can't believe something like Keurig is booming with all the waste they create. Not 100% sure I'm remembering this right. I'd say the award for worst company move has to go to Verizon for throttling the data of firefighters in California and requesting they pay more to receive the same quality that they should been receiving all along, knowing full well that they had no choice but to pay so they could continue trying to stop the entire West Coast from going up in smoke. Classy. Oh damn. Then they made those commercials about how firefighters use their network because it was dependable. As someone who used Verizon in an emergency context, the bill was $2 a phone for phones in the contract. After that, they could upcharge us if, say, we called our captain's personal cell as opposed to his work cell. Service also was spotty in our area. Here in Finland, a movie theater chain gives discounts to those serving in the army, but only during the weekdays. You know, the days that they can't leave the barracks. They get free time called town hours during the week. Same here in Estonia. Most of them just go home if they live nearby during these hours. The town hours in Finland at least are like 2 to 3 hours, which isn't enough to go watch a movie anyways. Which make this discount kinda obsolete. Every oil spill ever. We are sorry. We are sorry. We are sorry. We are really sorry. Removing the audio jack from their cell phone, so you can't use 99-cent headphones and have to buy their proprietary poop. What absolute pieces of human filth. Removing the headphone jack was bad. I think the real middle finger was when they sold the headphone jack back to you in the form of a tiny, very easily lost adapter.